A visa is permission to travel to the United States, but a visa that does not necessarily guarantee entry. Well, that distinction, it has become increasingly important. Well, according to a report by IM Gujarat, the case of the family from Ahmedabad who arrived in New York on valid visitor visa, it is shocking. They had traveled to America maybe multiple times before. In fact, this was not their first trip. But this time, it went terribly wrong at the airport. After immigration, their luggage was examined, some household items they were found, and questions began. Why were they carrying these items? Why were they traveling with household goods? And if their visa, it was, nearly expiring, well, did they actually intend to remain in America permanently? According to the report, all 4 family members, they were questioned for an extended period of time. Eventually, they were denied entry. Their visa were revoked and they were sent back to India on the next flight. Now, the objects themselves, they are very, very important. Let's talk about that. The family had reportedly carried utensils and other household items for the relatives in America. Now, you might be wondering, there's nothing unusual about taking utensils from India to the US, right? Indians family abroad, they regularly use utensils and other familiar household products from their home. But you know what? The concern at the airport, it was reportedly not simply what they were carrying. It was what those items might indicate about their intention here. And then another factor entered the entire picture. The family reportedly had several close relatives living in America. Again, having relatives in America, that is not a problem or illegal stuff here. But from an immigration officer's point of view, multiple factors can be considered together. Let me tell you what. The visa is nearing expiry. Well, there are household goods in the luggage. There are close relatives in the United States, and the officer wants to know, are you actually visiting or are you planning to stay? That is the bigger question. And in the meantime, if the officer becomes unconvinced, the consequences, it can be serious, just like this. And yes, the report also mentioned other examples where items found in luggage created suspicion, including documents and food products. You know, the broader message, that's clear. When you travel internationally, specifically to a country with strict customs and immigration rules, your luggage, that is not just your luggage. It can become part of the entire conversation about why are you traveling? In fact, what are you carrying? Who are you visiting? And how long you intend to stay, and whether your answer that matches your visa category or not. Because immigration officers, they are not only looking at your passport, they are looking at the entire picture here. And now, after hearing about people being stopped at the airport, there is a question many Indians may be asking. If you already have to wait so long for a US tourist visa appointment, can you simply pay more and get an earlier slot? Here the answer is yes, in some places though, but there is a catch here, a very big one for Indian applicants specifically.